Today's guest is Chawadee Nualkhair, a well-known food and travel writer here in Thailand, who has authored several books about Thailand cuisine. She has also contributed to The Lonely Planet and the Michelin Star Guide, and has also appeared on Street Food Asia, which is a Netflix series. So for people watching, last time I saw you was maybe last year, the year before.
We had chicken rice.
Right, so that's why I want to talk about it, because that place, is it Hang Hang? Hang Hang Chicken?
Yes, I've never seen it without a queue.
Right.
It is deeply popular.
So for people watching, Hang Hang is a Hainanese Chicken store outside of M Quartier, right?
Emporium.
Emporium, right? Okay, that's right.
And it's been there for years.
Right. So I went there, and I go there regularly now because I only live about a few minutes down. And I actually interviewed one of the market vendors there about politics. I was trying to interview like everyday Thai citizens about, it was about Move Forward Party last year, and I actually went down and interviewed her, and she was really cool actually, and now she recognizes me, so that was because of you.
Well, I'm telling you, I mean, it's great to get to know them. You feel like you've got an in when you get your food.
Yeah.
And honestly, they've been around for so long and have been so successful and are so popular, but they've never changed their setup. And that's big props to them, you know. They never said, "Oh, I've made so much money, I'm going to move to a shop house. I'm going to sell a frozen chicken rice, selection at 7-Eleven."
Yeah.
They never did that. They've always had integrity, and they've always stayed on the street because that's their clientele and that's the people they want to serve.
Right, because I mean, where it's located, like you said, Emporium, M Quartier, the M Sphere's just opened. It's all of these luxurious shopping malls, and they're just like a street vendor serving great food for really affordable prices. And that's Thailand, right?
Exactly. And there's no better place actually for a street food vendor than those luxurious shopping malls, luxurious condos, because the people who are keeping those condos and shopping malls going are the ones who can't afford to eat there. So they have to get something to eat.
Yeah.
And God forbid it's like some sad custard bun at 7-Eleven or mama noodles. Like, thank God that there are people who serve real food.
All right, well, so before we get into food in Thailand, because obviously there's so much to talk about, right?
Yeah.
But I want the listeners to know more about yourself, right?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so let's give us a background, right? I mean, you were born in Chiang Rai?
Yeah, I was. Oh, you have a good memory, Tom.
Ah, yeah, okay. Born in Chiang Rai, you're Thai American?
I am.
Thai?
You know, this is the thing. Like, every time people write about me, they have to always make sure that they put American in there, because otherwise, like, it might be a lie. It might seem like improbable that I'm Thai. So I'm not sure whether to be offended. I probably should be offended by that.
Okay.
But I'm Thai American. I've lived here for most of my life.
Okay.
And not America, but yeah, I'm Thai American.
So how did you become how did you become a food writer? How did you get into food cuisine? Has it been something from a young age? Was it something you always wanted to do, write about and food? Tell us about how you got into that.
I was a financial reporter at this news agency, and it was pretty miserable.
Okay. It
was a pretty terrible job.
So you were in journalism. So did you study journalism then? Or?
Yeah, I studied. I had a fellowship and everything. And then when I get back here, I end up in this like job covering the stock market. Like, there was nothing out there for me. It was just, so sad. Okay. So, and I had a horrible boss. Like,
how long did you do that for then?
I worked at Reuters for 4 years.
Okay.
And then I got enough contacts so that I could leave and start writing about things that I was more interested in. Because really, honestly, I've never been much of a financial, whiz.
Okay.
Believe it or not.
Right.
I've always loved people stories.
Okay.
So I started doing freelance and writing about art, culture, movies, and food, and then gradually it just shifted to food because that was the part that interested me the most. And also the way that people are always like, oh, you write about food, so you do restaurant reviews. No, there's nothing about restaurant reviews. It's about people. It's about people's stories. And it's about how people live and interact with their environment.
Okay. So that was, I'd hazard a guess, in the 90s, was it? Late 90s, early 2000s?
Early 2000s.
Okay. So what was it like then? Because today we live in a world where social media dominates and there's so many so-called travel food influencers, if you like. But what was the scene then as a writer for someone who's...
Oh my goodness. There was no Twitter. There was no social media.
Yeah.
You had to get your news through press releases and through other news agencies.
So was it cool when you said, like, I'm doing this, and other people were like, oh, wow, you're writing about food and people? Were people like really interested?
Nobody understood that. Everybody was just like, oh, restaurant reviews.
Okay.
What's your favorite restaurant? I was like,
Right. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah. But now people are getting more of an idea of what it is, of what food anthropology is. I mean, it's a real thing, which I never got to study when I was in school because no one had a name for it. It was just food. But how food relates to people, their history, politically, geographically, it's all tied up in this bundle called food. But it's so many other stories.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Where does Thailand food rank worldwide?
Oh, I'm not one of those people who are like, I'm going to rank the top curries of the world.
But when you're here...
And it's like a Croatian guy in a basement.
when you're here, though, everyone talks about the food. Everyone loves the food. Everyone has a favorite dish. But
everyone does have a favorite dish.
And you travel a lot, right? So
yeah, but you know what? What I find really interesting is some people like Thai food, but then when they come to Thailand, they're like, oh, this is Thai food. You know, Thai food is different. There are parallel cuisines. And that's kind of what I'm writing about right now because I've got a cookbook out in stores currently. It's called Real Thai Cooking. It's actually the recipes from my life. But the cookbook that I'm working on is a whole bunch of regional recipes, and it's about how people define Thai food. And it doesn't only mean regions in Thailand, it's also abroad. Okay. So Thai food abroad is also Thai food. And how could that be Thai food? And what makes it Thai food? These are all questions that are explored in this book.
And certainly in Western countries, there's the what they think Thai food is and sort of how they perceive it. And when they come here, it's a bit different. You know what I mean?
And people could be disappointed or people could be blown away. It could go either way. And that's what I like. And what I don't like is that when people are like trying to define what Thai food is for everybody, that really bothers me.
Okay. How's that?
Well, like they have their own experience and that's what it is. Like, that's it. You know, they don't have anybody else's experience. So what do they know? They only know about their own memories and experiences with Thai. I mean, they'll be like, I know all the history. I blah, blah, blah. I've researched blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Yeah, back to, you know, the Mons and blah, blah, blah. But it's essentially, I hate to say it, essentially that doesn't really matter because when Thai food gets translated and broadcast to different markets, different places, it necessarily has to undergo a change because there's no way that it can be made in this with the same ingredients, the same circumstances, and to the same people. You wouldn't survive if you cooked a gung chan nam pla in Manchester to people. You're like, I'm the gung chan nam pla vendor, and people would not buy your food. Right. They would be like, get away from me. So, you know, it's just I mean, it's ridiculous for people to be like, this is Thai food and everything else is not. And then, you know, it just makes people's efforts to cook good food for others, it kind of downplays it, makes it kind of useless.
So they have to diversify that sort of dish and maybe make it more appealing.
Thai food is always diversified. It's never stayed in one place. And the people who are the most traditional, like my mother, the Thai food of their childhood is the Thai food that they think is the right food. But that food isn't even real. The som tam Thai, the pad Thai, these are creations from the mid-1900s. No one had heard of them in the UTR period. So what is that? No one would eat the food from, really, from the UTR period. It's like eating what Henry VIII ate. Like, would you eat that?
Yeah.
For real?
Do you eat Thai food a lot when you're overseas?
No, I never eat Thai food when I'm overseas.
I'm the same. I don't either. Why is that for you?
I don't want to be disappointed.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm surprised. I went on a cruise last year.
Yeah,
and
I remember texting you at the time about it. Yeah.
I went to Mozambique. And I went to a restaurant called Spicy Thai. And I was prepared for just the worst food ever. And it was incredible. Mozambique seafood is out of this world.
Right.
And they had a tom yum made with this lobster that was like an alien. And then plopped in the middle of this big vat of tom yum soup. It was, and the freshest seafood, the freshest gung cha nam pla, they had it.
Yeah.
And their shrimp were so sweet and fresh and delicious. It was just it was a mind-blowing experience for me, because I was like, Mozambique has a Thai restaurant and
Wow.
it's good. That actually gave me the inspiration for part of my book that I'm working on, is that great restaurants in all different parts of the world making Thai food, but their way. Not traditional, not like with a government recipe mandate or anything like that. Their way, for their audience, for with their ingredients.
The reason why I ask you that, when I used to live in Hong Kong, and now and again I'd get a Thai dish, but it was a lot more expensive and it just wasn't as good. Is the value of Thai food, that surely must be, that's a big part of why people like it as well.
Yeah.
Because you can go to a street vendor and get some chicken noodle soup or whatever for, very affordable prices, 40, 50, 60, up to
Yes.
100 baht. So is it when people have Thai food overseas, they don't enjoy it as much because of the cost as well? Is there something authentic about having Thai food in Thailand on the street side, and that's part of the enjoyment as well? Or it's a tricky question, because Thai food is delicious, but is it made more delicious about the environment that you're in?
I've heard this before. I've heard this when people say, mangoes, that's too expensive. Oh, they're serving pad Thai for that. That's too expensive. And the thing is, they're in an expensive place. Hong Kong is crazy expensive.
Right.
Japan is too. Sadly, the Thai restaurants there are bad. But even if you could find a good one, I wouldn't complain about the price, because it's so expensive there. It's so expensive. London is crazy expensive. Iceland, oh my God. I just want to make another point.
Okay.
Also, would you say that about French food or Italian food? Would you be like, damn, the souffle is too expensive? Or would
That's a
you
good
just
point.
be like, oh, well, it's a souffle. It's, traditional French technique. Thai people are using cooking techniques too. So,
That's an interesting point. I'm saying it from a
I
from a
understand.
British foreigner who's come in,
Yeah.
and other expats and travelers who come here. That has been talked about for a while.
Yeah, I know.
The value is so much better in Thailand. What was it like when you were first become a food writer, early 2000s, when you went overseas or to the States? Was there as many Thai restaurants available then? So what does that say about Thailand's soft power? That's a buzzword right now.
This is something, and I'm not one to I'm not one to praise Thailand unnecessarily, but I think that one of the great things that they've done is their food diplomacy. It's really brilliant, and the way that they give help to Thai restaurateurs abroad when they're not too controlling, and just letting them flourish. in their various areas is really smart. Because it does bring people to Thailand. It's true. People eat the food and their minds get open. There are countless people I've talked to who are like, oh, when I had chicken lap for the first time, or when I had som tam for the first time, my mind was like blown, and I wanted to know more about Thailand and Thai food. It's true, and I think that it's really brilliant. That said, I think that they can't control it too much, because it's a very delicate thing to have something that's been created here and to take it abroad and try to make it grow there. Like, it's like a plant. You have to nourish it. You have to feed it. You have to have it adapt to its particular conditions wherever it is.
Yeah. How do they help then? I mean, how has it helped? How do they help restaurateurs overseas then? Is it
they give money to restaurateurs. They give guidance on how to set up a restaurant and how to set up a menu. They give recipes that they say, this is like the standard green curry recipe. This is the standard massaman recipe. And the embassies are the ones who kind of are around to help drive business there to the restaurant when needed. So it's it's a great system, and I think it works. You can find a Thai restaurant just about anywhere in the world now.
What would be the dish that is the most internationally recognized? Pad Thai?
What do you
Pad
think?
Thai.
Of
Tom
course.
Yum. Okay, Pad Thai.
Why do you think people like Pad Thai?
Europeans maybe compare it to pasta, maybe.
The genius of Pad Thai is that the ingredients can be substituted easily, and you can make it with anything, and it'll taste good. If you don't have tamarind, if you don't have lime juice, you can use ketchup, whatever. Use HP sauce. It's gonna be good.
Okay.
So that's why, in a way that green curry isn't, or tom yum soup, you can't make those dishes without lemongrass and galangal and lime leaves. But Pad Thai is a dish that can go anywhere. This is like a genius dish.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
Yeah.
I never eat it.
I was just gonna say, how many times a week do you eat Pad Thai?
Well, no, I almost never. But I was thinking on the SkyTrain ride here, I was like, what would I do to Pad Thai to make it mine?
Yeah. Julian, you had Pad Thai the other day, right? Here, it's good Pad Thai here. Yeah, it's not bad. Did we talk about street vendors? So right now, well, not right now, for a while, there's been certain government calls for Thailand or, certainly Bangkok to tidy up street vendors, right?
Yeah.
And I first heard this years ago. I think it must have been, 5, 6, 7 years ago. They were saying how they wanted to maybe tax them or certainly clear up the street vendors, basically.
Right.
And there's been some recent news on that where I think they want street vendors who earn a certain threshold to be eligible to be able to sell street food. I mean, what are your thoughts on the whole, let's say, campaign of trying to tidy up, so to speak, Bangkok streets? I mean, does it just take away the essence of what Bangkok is from a foodie?
Well, I mean, a lot of it comes just from like self-loathing and a sense of wanting to be like someone else, like Singapore. How was Thailand not colonized? But they colonized themselves, and they changed the way they dress and the way they eat, and furniture and utensils and everything. And it succeeded. They did not get colonized officially, but this kind of self-loathing, I shouldn't call it self-loathing, this kind of adaptability is something that has proven successful in the past, so why not do it now? Bangkok wants to be Singapore, and the way to do it is normally would be to have the people make more money and raise living standards, but they want to maybe take a few shortcuts. The real thing is it appears to look like Singapore and not actually be Singapore. And the easiest scapegoat, the easiest way to do this is to clear up sidewalks of vendors, who many of whom have been there for decades.
Yeah.
And it's they like to use language like liberating the sidewalks, and freeing space for the people, as if like the sidewalks were held hostage by these horrible vendors who were big nuisances to everyone. But the thing is that these vendors are doing a public service for people, and there is demand for it, otherwise they wouldn't be there. So instead of using that language now, they're reverting to things like, these aren't actual Thai people. They should prove that they're Thai. It's sort of like how Americans talk about taco stands, like, Mexicans are, stealing into America just to sell tacos and quesadillas to people. I mean, it's like the same kind of othering that they're trying to use, so that people don't complain when they are being shunted aside. But I mean, I think a lot of people see through that, because honestly, in Bangkok, a vast majority of people buy something from the street every day. And it's not just like, food. It's not just noodles. It could be fruit. It could be a drink. It could be, an umbrella when you're caught in the rain. So
Lom. Is that in Thai? Lom? Umbrellas? Lom.
Yes.
I learned that recently because I
needed one.
Yeah. In this weather right now, I needed it, and I never used to hold them. Okay.
So I mean, it's I think it's an uphill battle for the Bangkok government to cut down on vendors, because one thing about Thais is they're very entrepreneurial and they're very creative. As have you ever been in a car, like a taxi, and seen Thai people drive to get around the traffic? Of course. Yeah.
There's always a way around.
There's always a way.
Yeah, there's always a way. And I think that's actually, I was talking about this the other day about Thailand.
Yeah.
There's always a way around something, or there's always a way. Yeah. And I think that's one of the reasons why many people love Thailand, for that sort of spirit. Yeah. But the food, I can't imagine Bangkok without street vendors. And the reason why I bring it up is that, are we already in the middle? Unfortunately, I hope we're not, but are we already in the middle of a shift? Because you go to M-Sphere and you go to these malls here, CM Paragon and some of these food centers, they have got some good food. I mean, there's a Hainanese Chicken one in, is it CM Paragon? Michelin star. M-Sphere recently opened. Yeah, I know. I mean, maybe I know you're going to be judgmental about that.
That's a different conversation.
Okay. Well, we can come on to it maybe. But these malls, though, Bangkok has some luxurious malls, and obviously they have food centers, and these sort of food markets. They're indoors, and are we already seeing that shift already? That what I'm trying to ask is that is it going to be inevitable that Bangkok will sort of transfer to that sort of Singaporean style? Do we think, because are we seeing it already?
You're seeing attempts to force it, but it will never be that way as long as people can't afford to eat where everybody else eats. Right. Yes. So, it's just very simple.
Okay. So you appeared on Street Food Asia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If you like food, it's a great series. I love it.
Yes. I think the age has passed. The time has passed.
What year was it?
I don't remember. Like 20.
Did it come out during the pandemic? I'm sure I watched it
a little bit before. Yes, because it was up for a James Beard Award, but then they didn't have it or something. I don't know what happened. Right. But television goes through fads, just like probably writing does. Yeah. There's the slow-mo and the stirring music, that kind of stuff you don't see much of anymore. Like it's more about like fast action, blah blah blah.
Okay.
YouTube type stuff, you know?
Right.
And so now when you see it, it seems a little bit dated. But I mean, it's all cyclical and come back.
I don't think it's dated. I mean, well, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what you mean in terms of like, nowadays everything's on social, but it's a great series. Actually, one of my favorite things is to watch a series like that and eat at the same time. Like seriously, I think there's a tacos episode, and I was eating tacos whilst I was watching it.
Oh
and
no, I saw that.
And I was like, this is the this is the greatest combination ever: eating tacos and watching.
It made me want to take a taco tour through Mexico.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, what am I doing, wasting my time here? But yeah, the food television, you know, it not only makes you hungry, but it makes you learn a little bit about the countries where they're filming.
Well, you were talking about Jai Fi, right?
Yeah.
And she,
I can't get a table there now.
Yeah. I mean, but when did she become so well known like she is now? Because I mean, you have to queue for anyone watching and listening. If you're going to go to Jai Fi's, you have to queue.
4 hours? I don't know. I haven't. You know, it's been years since I even tried. It's I'm happy for Jai Fi. I think she deserves it.
Yeah.
I wish that people knew more about what she can do than an omelet.
Oh, the crab omelet. That's the.
There's other dishes.
Yeah, I think I remember I texted you and I went there and I was like, what should we eat there? Whatever you said, I ordered all of it.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah, it was all great.
Good.
But doesn't that sum up Thailand's food environment? Or, you know, because of where she's located, she's not in this fancy building, and she's cooking herself still. She hasn't. I mean, I know her daughter gets involved with the bookings and things like that, but that's just Thailand 101, isn't it? For its food. I mean, she's cooking herself. People have to queue. I think it's great. I think she's a great. Yeah. It's great for Thailand. So.
I think, she is great for Thailand. I think that, you know, it's not just about these tourist-friendly, air-conditioned restaurants. It's shown people that, hey, if your food is good enough, people will queue. People will stand in the hot weather, in no air conditioning, and wait the whole day to eat your food, you know.
But on that topic of food, 7 days, what would you eat? Thai food.
Thai food?
Yeah.
I love kapi. I love shrimp paste. I love anything to do with it. So, khao kuk kapi, nam prik kapi. Oh my God, satar pat.
What are they in English?
You know, kapi.
Okay.
Pork stir fried with kapi. I would be all over that stuff because I really can't get enough. Even just look at the green mango in the jar of kapi, I would be all over that. In fact, I'm planning on making tomorrow a fresh shrimp kapi dip with some nice blanched vegetables on the side. I'm going to blanch some cabbage, some okra. Just leave the Thai eggplants as they are and the cucumbers, and it's going to be awesome. And just like a nice little thing of rice, it's going to be the best lunch ever.
Okay, let's go quick fire.
Okay.
Be as quick as you can, because if you think about it too much, well, I want the quick answer. All right. You kind of just answered this question, but all right. Your favorite Thai dish?
Nam prik kapi.
Which is?
Shrimp paste chili dip.
Okay. The most Thai dish which has the most value, as in like maybe affordability or quick to eat.
Oh, pad krapao.
Okay. This is a difficult one. Most overrated Thai dish. One that's eaten too much that is not as good as what people think.
Green curry if it's made abroad.
Green curry if it's made abroad. Okay. One Thai dish that every new visitor to Thailand should try.
Oh, I think that people don't recognize a lot of the chili dips, and none of them are served abroad. So you got to get your hands on some nam prik.
Okay. And one dish that you dislike.
Oh.
Do you dislike any?
Oh man, I don't think I do. Oh, I do. Okay, and this is sad because I'm from the north, right? But the
don't say khao soi.
No. Although that is kind of overrated.
Really? Oh no.
But I understand its appeal. It's called nampo, and it is the juice of pulverized field crabs.
Okay.
And they make it in a chili dip. Maybe they put it in rice, and you can stir fry it. It's black. And it's got a really funky, fermented, deeply umami flavor, which I would normally like, but for some reason, I like the pounded krill paste that is kapi, but for some reason I just do not like these pulverized field crab.
Right. Okay.
So,
What about something as, I'm not going to say bland because I don't think that's appropriate for any Thai food, but mango sticky rice. I've never got that personally. I don't understand.
It's really
super
interesting.
Popular with travelers.
Yes. But in Mozambique, they don't serve it because the people there think it's weird to eat sticky rice with fruit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Sweet and savory, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a bit like, I kind of like that in a chicken and mango, for example.
Yeah.
But mango sticky rice, I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, that's weird. So they have cake and stuff like that. But like, I understand. Like some people are like, oh, why am I eating rice? It's like, that's sweet. That's gross. So I mean, yeah, I get it. I actually am not the biggest fan of mango sticky rice, and if I get served it, I eat the mango.
When I go to Bamboo Tree Street, which I mentioned earlier, there's just them plastic cartons of mango sticky rice, but they're like 20 baht. But they sell like hotcakes. I mean, and I like I said, I've just never got it. But it's a traveler's favorite. It's a bit like, the 7-Eleven toasties. Backpackers love that here. Have you heard that before? I know.
Oh my God! If I have to hear about this ham and cheese toasty, oh my God!
I know. I shouldn't
make it at your house.
Yeah.
Like how hard is it?
Should cut that actually. Yeah. Okay. And also, last question: spicy dishes, right? So, when certainly like people from let's say Europe or America, the States come over, there's this theory that they can't handle their spice tolerance isn't great, right? I mean, like even still, when I'm in a restaurant, they're like, it's spicy, and it's like it's okay. I live here. I like spicy food. What dish wouldn't be the same if it wasn't spicy?
Gang som.
Okay.
I mean, this is the thing. Spice is a way for Thai people to gatekeep because you will not find a single TAT advertisement without like some Farang going and like Thai people pointing at them and laughing at them. This is like such an important thing for Thai people to like show to other people.
Really? Okay.
But honestly, Western people, they can have just as much spice as anybody else. I mean, it's like working out. Like, once you've built up this tolerance, just like there's no going back, but you have to keep at it.
Yeah. Julian, how long have you been in Thailand for?
25 years.
How's your spice tolerance?
Pretty good.
What's pretty good?
How many chilies do you have in your somtam?
2 or 3.
Okay.
2 or 3 chilies.
That's average Thai.
Yeah.
Once you get to 5, you're like, oh.
I remember my first day in Bangkok, and God, I'm mentioning Khao San a lot lately, which is crazy because I don't go there a lot. But anyway, first day in Bangkok, and I met my buddy from the UK, and he's from Birmingham, right? Which is like the curry place in the UK, right?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Okay, so
but I'm going to go to Birmingham now.
you're going to Birmingham, okay? Well, if you like curries, it's best place in the UK,
I just know Duran.
right? But but the curries in Birmingham are really good. So anyway, he's from Birmingham.
Yeah.
And I met him and he's like, do you like spicy food? And I was like, yeah, thinking I did.
You could do it.
Yeah, I mean, I can now, but at the time we just had chicken noodle soup, and I still go to this vendor. It's still open, right? And it was like 45 baht, I think, like 12 years ago, and now it's probably like 60 baht. So anyway, prices went up slightly, but chicken noodle soup, the vendor's still there. I had it, and I got a lot of chili, what's it called, like chili powder? Chili flakes. And I like just poured it in, thinking this is fine. Dude, like I literally, like when I ate that, I had to smash 3 bottles of water. Like I was like coughing everywhere. My friend Danny's
This
like,
is in Birmingham?
no, this was in
This was
in
here,
Bamboo
yeah.
Tree. Yeah. And he was like laughing at me. He was like, you think you can eat spicy food? And that was like the first Thai dish I ever had here. Chicken noodle
Ooh.
soup with tons of chili flakes. And I was like coughing like mad. And that was, even to this day, like if there's chili flakes, I will be like very
Yeah,
careful.
it's very...
Because if you put too much in, it can be...
The chili flakes are what makes it...
Yeah, but you can kill the taste. I mean, certainly for people with like average levels of spice tolerance. But still, yeah, that was like my first time. But now I love spicy food. Like I literally have to have it.
It makes you high.
Makes me high.
No, I mean, it makes... Actually, I had some gang som. I was in Phuket and I had some gang som this weekend. And honestly, it was so spicy. There's a spice level that you reach where you get high. And you're like, oh my goodness. Like...
It's a kick.
I'm not telling you that that's why people eat spicy food, but that is one of the byproducts of it. Is just like, whoa, like I feel lightheaded, my ears are ringing. It's like, whoa.
No, that's interesting. It is a kick.
Yeah.
I know guys who like to party and drink, but they like spicy foods, and I think it's a different kick. It's a different buzz.
Yeah, I mean, like I think it was Phil Cornwell Smith said like wrote to me once because I asked him for a quote on Thai food and spicy food, and he said, well, Thais love sensation, they love painful massage, they love bright colors, they love loud music, they love spicy food, and the Thailand's like a land of extremes. You know, people really want to live life and feel it, which is admirable, you know.
We're talking about Thailand cuisine, Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
What countries do you think... Well, first of all, is Thai cuisine your favorite? But what countries do you think... And second, what countries do you think are getting better or certainly becoming more well-known, or cuisines that you like in the region? Laos, Vietnam. The reason why I
love
ask,
them all.
Okay.
No, that's not true. That's such a lie.
You love them all. Okay, so Gordon Ramsay. Have you met him before?
I have not.
Oh, okay. He recently said in an interview, whether it's recent, I read it recently, but he said in an interview that I read that his favorite Asian cuisine was from Laos. And I was shocked at that because I've been in the region.
Have
for
you
a
been
while.
to Laos?
Yeah, many years ago, but I can't remember anything.
Oh, Tom, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I know, well.
Have you been to Isan?
No.
It's similar.
Oh, okay, so Isan style.
So you get it, right?
Okay, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
It's like such a gregarious, crowd-pleasing food.
I would just think, okay, maybe I'm looking at it from a well-known aspect, but Thai, Vietnamese.
I mean, you know what? Laotians have a reason to be cross at Thai people because Thai people have like claimed a lot of Laotian dishes for their own. Som tam, that's Laotian.
Okay.
Like gang om and all this. This is all taken from, from somewhere else. But food has no borders. Blah blah blah. So.
Okay.
Yeah, they can also be considered Thai dishes, but really, Laos even. We've taken a lot of things from Laos.
Thanks so much. Thanks everyone for listening to today's podcast. Feel free to check the FCCT's website and social media for upcoming events, and stay tuned for other interesting guests on this podcast in the next few weeks.